Good evening to those bored enough to watch. As I'm sure many of you are aware, there's always been two groups of people who play video games. People who prefer to play on console, and those who prefer to play on PC. Obviously, people who reside in those two different groups have their different reasons for preferring as such. Personally, I'm somewhere in the middle. While I do prefer to play some games on console, I prefer to play other games on PC, either because it's just much easier to set up and run, or simply because I'm just feeling rather lazy that night and I simply want to play a game without embarking through the troubles of having to set up a console. However, in this video, I intend to explore the different sides to the spectrum to the best of my ability. So, with that said, let's discuss the concept of PC and console gaming. As I mentioned earlier, I'm mainly someone who resides in the middle of these groups, and that's mainly because there are a lot of factors that determine whether I buy a game on PC or whether I buy a game on console. For example, sometimes I may be feeling a bit lazy and I simply decide to play on laptop because I'm not bothered enough to play it on console. Or other times I don't really have much of a choice, since my laptop wouldn't be able to run the game I want to play. I only buy games for console when I'm confident that it wouldn't be able to run on my laptop, which in this case is a lot of the games I end up buying. From my understanding, people generally tend to buy consoles and the games that follow mainly because of the fact that consoles tend to be significantly cheaper than that of a decent gaming PC. And for some, consoles are simply just more simplistic to set up than a PC. The absolute noobs. Though in other cases, one's PC may not be able to run a game due to the specs and whatnot, which may warrant them buying it on consoles. While those games do run a lot more worse on console than they do on PC, for example frame rates, loading times and whatnot, it's definitely a lot more simplistic to run than doing so on PC. On the other hand, some prefer to run games on PC. From what I can understand, it's mainly because of the better optimization and performance of said game on PC compared to console, and others prefer to have their games all on PC instead of consoles. To be completely honest, I'm not necessarily sure as to the other reasons why one would prefer to play on PC, but what I will say that there are obviously a lot of benefits to investing into a gaming PC or something of that sort. Like I said earlier in this video, I personally reside somewhere in the middle. Sometimes I tend to play games on PC and other times I do so on console. Sometimes I'm feeling a tad lazy and I'm not necessarily bothered to set up the console because I'm supposedly too lazy to gather the wires and whatnot to set it up, in which case I'll just grab a controller and play whatever game on Steam, which, for those who are curious, is Sonic Adventure 2. When all is said and done, it's really a matter of preference. One may prefer to play on console and others prefer to play on PC. As I've stated quite a few times throughout the course of this video, I'm somewhere in the middle. It's all really down to circumstance that decide whether I'm going to play on console or whether I'll play on PC. But one thing I can definitively say is that gaming is obviously gaming. So, there's the video. I hope you all enjoyed it. I know this one was a bit random compared to the other videos I've made, but we'll make do with what we've got. Anyhow, the new year is coming. We've just got a little more pushing to do before we get there. I'm obviously going to be uploading until then. I just thought that'd be worth mentioning. Anyway, I've not really got much else I want to say, so I'll end things off here. If you want to follow me, then my socials will be linked in the description, as well as any afterthoughts or messages I want to add. With that, I've not really got much else I want to say, so I'll see you all in my next video. I hope you all enjoyed the video, and I wish you all a very pleasant evening.